to reduce the number of temporary residents in Canada.
It is people that have fled Russian aggression in Ukraine, so 300,000 Ukrainians. It's people on postgraduate work permits. It's international students. It's people that are working in post-production film in downtown Montreal, as well as temporary foreign workers in the agricultural or seafood transformation sector. So it's a wide segment of people that are here that make our economy what it is. And it is something that we need to get a grip on. It has grown to a level that is higher than it has ever been. And we need to take steps as the federal government to reduce that. We are signaling 20%, but we can't do it alone. It's something that provinces know their labor forces so that we're not causing damage to the economy. Why? We know from the studies that economists have produced that impacts the cost of shelter, and making sure that we are signaling to the market, signaling to economists, signaling to Canadians that this is something that we need to do responsibly, I think is very important. So part of the announcement that I made yesterday was to make sure that temporary people that are here temporarily form part of our levels plan that I'm statutorily obligated to report to Parliament on every year, which is an important change to what we've been doing normally, which is just report on people that are our levels for permanent residency. So a couple big changes, but they are ones that will need to be done in partnership with provinces who do have that responsibility to tell us what they need, tell us what their needs are for the economy, and be responsible for the people that are in Canada as well as we are.
You said at the press conference when you made this announcement that Canada, like other countries, has become addicted to temporary foreign workers. Why do you say that, and how do you mitigate for that? Because as you know, one of the problems with temporary foreign workers is that Canadians don't want to do that work. And so people will have to reach out to temporary foreign workers in order to make sure there's enough in the labor force.
Well, one, that's true, and I wouldn't exaggerate that portrayal. There are certain sectors of the economy, and the agricultural sector in particular, and the areas that my colleague Randy Boissonneau administers in labor market impact assessments that allow for that sort of lower wage aspect of work in the economy. Very important, particularly in an environment of food inflation, to make sure we have those workers here. But that isn't the entirety of the picture. It's students on work permits. It's people that are seeking asylum here in Canada, and it's very highly specialized people that are here that we can't train in here in Canada or don't have sufficient skills to train. So it's a broader bucket than that, but certainly it is something, yes, we have become addicted to. The numbers betray that. And it's something I think we know and acknowledge has had an impact on affordability and notably the cost of shelter. And it's something I think we owe it to ourselves and owe it to Canadians to take a second look at as the labor market constricts a bit.
You said you have to sit down and discuss the targets with the provinces. How flexible are you?
To see where the labor needs are. There's two aspects to this, Rosemary: the influx, the people that come in here, but also the output or the transition into permanent residency. We're asking provinces to take a little more responsibility with the labor force that exists in their provinces in order to perhaps offer some transition to permanent residency with the nominee programs that they have and are quite proud of and frankly advocate for more of. And so this will be a discussion with us in terms of the federal programs that we administer, and there's a bucket load of them, and the provincial programs that are administered by provinces in order to make sure that there is also an outflow of temporary residents to the permanent residence path and ultimately Canadian citizenship, so we aren't just bringing people in and stranding them here with no hope of becoming permanent residency. So that's another aspect of this that needs to be discussed in private, but also discussed with Canadians.